Today we have the instructional how-to video for the Mary White concession trailer. We're going to go over the features, functions, and shutdown procedures of your brand new concession. You've got both of your 100-pound propane tanks. They are empty. However, I do have a live tank that I've used for testing purposes in this video as well. You only need to run one tank at a time. Start off with your generator itself. I'm running off shore power. This plug goes with your generator that will plug into this piece here. Have the fuse or the breaker in the off position. Always have on the 120 240 side, and always leave the eco throttle in the off position. We'll turn the key over, press the button to start. Once the unit is running, allow 30 seconds of time before you turn this switch on. After you get done running at the end of the day, make sure you turn that switch back off before turning the key switch back off. Generator is strapped down in place. Same thing with the tanks. Tank setup is the same situation as yours. So at the beginning of each day when you start up, you need to make sure that the hood system is in the on position. Double check that your fryer is in the off position, as well as the other appliance that you might put in the later on in the future. Make sure it's in the off position. You will open the valve, this valve here, opening fuel to this point here itself. Turn that back off. And at that point, when you turn this valve on in a quarter position, meaning upright, you should only hear the line charge itself, which is nothing more than shh. If you hear continuous gas flow coming through either one of these regulators, you need to immediately shut off. And again, shutting it off, that turn is going to be just like you would see right there. I say this because this piping does run down and runs below the trailer and hugs the frame of the trailer itself. And going down the road, if any road debris is to hit this piping, whether it is wood, rock, tires, anything at any rate of speed can damage, if not break, the pipe. And again, on initial startup, when you turn the hood system on, make sure your equipment in the inside is in the off position. When you turn this valve on in line, as you see it here, you should have nothing more than the line charge itself. If you hear continuous gas flow coming through either one of your regulators, when you start up, immediately shut off and contact your local gas company to come out and inspect the piping below. Always have the concession window door open when you have the exhaust fan on. For the flip up counter, once you get to your 90-degree mark, that's when you're pressing upward, which allows that to roll back down. Same thing for setup, using the middle screw itself. Once you get to this 90-degree mark, pressing back upward forcefully will allow these pins to roll. The right side is going to be on the inside. The left side is going to be on the outside, as you see here. If you choose to use the crank jacks, by all means, you need a 3/4 inch socket and an impact gun. It makes it a whole lot easier. But before you do so, you need to block or scotch the tires in such a manner that the trailer cannot shift in any way. If you do not do this and the jacks are lifted up, any movement in the trailer and the weight itself can make the jacks fold over and damage and destroy them, which they would not be covered under any warranty. We'll plug behind the entry door. Got your door latch. Press back like so. That way you can shut your screen door for allowing fresh air to come in. For this demonstration, I'm running on the city water fill side. So this is your city water fill box. This key will be around your faucet inside. This is for filling your freshwater tank and using your water pump. Periodically, you'll need to run some bleach or sanitizer through this to be able to clean that tank itself. Again, for this video, I have bypassed the tank and pump, and I'm running on the pressurized side, keeping the water pump in the off position. Down below, we have our waste drain valve. Removing the 3-inch cap, installing your 3-inch RV waste hose. Once that hose is hooked up, this gate valve will be able to pull out of the way and that water content will flow out as you've seen there. Once that is completely empty, push that valve back in, remove the hose, and put the cap back in place. Go ahead and start off with your fridge here. As soon as you walk in, sitting at 38 degrees. This is the paperwork for the deep fryer itself. Comes with the legs, manual, and also the drain tube, as you will see right here, for draining the oil every time before you move. You also have the manual for the generator and the fire suppression system, as well as the manual. This is for the crankjacks, I'm sorry, to be able to manually do them. Again, an impact gun does make life a whole lot easier. The manual for the fridge and the keys in this packet here. Do take the time to read over your paperwork for proper cleaning and maintenance of all of your equipment. You do have a manual opening roof vent that you can open up, allow fresh air to come in when the hood system's on as well. Just make sure that you close that before transportation. Plug working there. Brand new plug sometimes. I have to make sure I get that prong pushed out and allow it easier for that to go in and out like this top one does. I'll do after the video. Water pump switch located here in the off position. Turning on position upward, off or downward. $40-gallon fresh water tank. You have your 60-gallon wastewater below. Water heater located back here. Plugged in. Upper shelf, fire suppression control head. This system is live and ready to go. You'll need to have your local fire suppression company and fire marshal come out and tag and certify the system for proper codes itself. Fire suppression tank located here. 100 amp panel, all 20 amp independent circuits. We have your battery charger for the 12-volt lighting system. And we have your fuse panel for the 12-volt lighting system itself. Power cord is able to run out. As you can see, that white cable hatch. For video purposes, I just ran it out the easiest way. If you're going to run it out and have it plugged into your generator, just make sure that you have that cable in a fastened manner so that it cannot drag the ground when in transportation. You also have your winterization valve, as you see, located right there for blowout reasons, for winter purposes. Gas valve for the fire suppression system also. For your deep fryer, go ahead and show you the operation of it. As you can see, the thermopile lit. That is in the on position. Turn this back off and explain how to light it. So that is how it's going to be always at the end of each day and at the beginning of each day. Off position here, off position here. I always start out with, I'll do that twice to make sure that thermostat connects with that gas valve. At that point, I turn the pilot button to where the L meets the red dot and allows you to push in, and you have to push and hold here and administer your fire to your thermopile. Once that thermopile is lit, continue to hold this button for 10 to 15 seconds. Once you can slowly release that button and keep a strong flame on your thermopile, at that point you can rotate to the on position, and when ready, operate your thermostat to the desired temp as needed. Just make sure at the end of each day that you do turn that back to the off position. The drain tube in the packet threads into here, allows you to open up and drain the contents inside the deep fryer itself each day. Gas valve here. As you can see in the off position, just make sure nothing hits that mechanism, as that would open up and have an open source of gas, which can be very, very dangerous. Interior and exterior light switch is located right here. What grease doesn't collect in the filters runs to the drip tray, goes to the drip cup. Monitor that daily also. I would plan on daily inspections for your filters itself. These filters are removable for cleaning purposes. You can clean them with hot water and a mild soap or mild detergent and thoroughly rinse. Allow them to fully air dry before going back into operation as well. When you put the filters back in place, make sure that the gap is very minimal. That way you do not have grease blow by that gets up into the top fan. I would check with your local hood cleaning company to set them up on quarterly visits, starting out for cleaning and maintaining the extraction fan up on top. Never run the hood system without the filters. Then you'll have a bunch of grease content up in the top part. Never use your deep fryer as a source of heat in the wintertime. So again, as you see, that switch right there is for the exhaust fan. That needs to be on when that deep fryer or when the gas is on itself. That way, if you have any propane in the trailer, if that valve below gets hit, it's going to be able to pull it up to a nose level so you can be able to smell to be able to turn that off. Again, propane is highly, highly dangerous, highly explosive. It is going to fill up the lower ground cavity first before as it rises. It's very heavy. That's why I mentioned at the very beginning about listening for gas coming through the two-stage regulator on startup, because gas would fill up the cavity below your trailer itself. Always make sure that you turn not only the gas valve off, but also the tank valve itself. Never leaving gas running in the unit while driving down the road. That is very dangerous also. Once you have the gas off, you can go back in, turn the hood fan off. Just make sure at the end of each day that you go ahead and turn all of those light switches off so that you're not draining the battery also. If you choose to do so, you can turn off the refrigerator so that there is no power draw on the initial startup. You do not want any power draw on the initial startup. However, if you're going to be transporting with product in the fridge, again, that power cord's plugged into your generator going down the road. Just make sure that power cord's fastened in such a way that it cannot drag, as this power cord is not easily to be replaced and is quite costly. Make sure that, again, lights are always off. Make sure that all doors are closed. Make sure that you remove your waste water hose and your fresh water if you're using city water fill. If you did use the crank jacks, make sure that you pull them to an upright position. That way you do not destroy those on your initial takeoff. Any loose items laying inside need to be put in a safe place as well. Again, making sure that you take the shelf and pressing upward forcefully allows that to roll back to a down position, and the door latch and pin at least in one side. If you choose to do so in both sides or lock, you can do so as well. We thank you for taking the time to view this video. Make these videos to help show the customer their product before they get it or before they come in. If you do have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We'll be glad to assist in any way. We thank you so much for your business and wish you the very best. This is for the Mary White trailer. I did leave out showing the water heater functioning. Do apologize about that. $122 and still counting. Again, before I ever plugged that water in, I had to make sure I had continuous water flow, not only out of one, but both faucets, hot and cold. Again, I do apologize that I did not